I'm Been There, Done That. This is We're with Podcast Junkies.
Been there, but I have not done it yet.
Yeah, well, this is you doing it.
I've been there doing that.
What's up, everybody? I'm Castro, and this is the Been There, Done That podcast. Woo! Oh, wow. That was a little loud. Sorry about that. I got a little loud there. Welcome back, you guys. It is so nice to see you. So nice to have you here. Welcome to another episode of Been There, Done That with your host, Castro. Hope you guys had a great weekend. A lot of it was Valentine's Day, and a lot of love in the air. I hope you guys told your mom and your dad you love them, your girlfriend, your best friend, whoever, your brother, your sister, your mother, whoever. I hope we talked to everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm really excited for this show today. I am so excited. We're doing another Been There, Done That. You guys definitely want to stick around for this one. Wait till the end. We are going to I'm not going to give you all the marbles of what's going to happen, but we've got a great production at the end. So you better stick around to the end of this show. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest today. He is a legend. And you know what? It's crazy. There's two different levels to this gentleman, and I just met him recently, but you'll see what I'm talking about. We've got computer programming, theater director, producer. Without further ado, we got Keith Garson here with me, and he is the founder of Boca Stage, a really nice production company in Boca Raton, and he's produced over 50 shows, I think, since 2014. So without further ado, Keith, welcome into Been There, Done That.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, man. This is
my first podcast at 65 years old.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I got on Medicare before I got on a podcast.
Would you look at that? No, that's a clip right there. Wow. So I'm breaking that first.
You're breaking the glass ceiling in terms of podcasts. It did TV, did radio.
Okay.
But podcast this is the new thing.
Is it right?
So, that I've got to start sometime.
I love it. And I mean, hey, what do you think about the studio?
This beautiful studio. I love the black and the red. You got a bar over there.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't see the barista, but
they come in on occasionally, or it's me. I'll have to show you a funny video after this. I was wearing all the hats because I brought on this hat right here because I needed the director, and then I also brought a slate. We need one of these.
Yes.
So before we get into it, I want my audience to know a little bit about you, Keith, because, hey, listen, we were talking on the phone. We hit it off. I was like, okay, this guy is on the same wavelength as me. But I mean, I read your bio and I didn't know you were in finance and doing all this. So let's hear it.
My day job, computer programming. I am a freelance computer programmer, and that pays for the theater. Because as everybody listening who's in theater knows, there's no money in theater. The only way you're going to make money in theater is with a lot of investors, and donors, and people who just love theater and want to give unceremoniously. So, one pays for the other. As a friend of mine put it, theater is my equivalent of golf.
Okay. Interesting.
And I don't play golf because I wouldn't be able to afford the broken clubs. So,
That's great. Well, so where did this come from? Where did this love? Actually, which one came first? The love for theater or the love for?
No, the theater came first because I was born in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I grew up in Westchester, just north of there. And my mother, she produced and directed several shows for the Temple.
Oh.
But these were massive. These were not your little community theater shows. These were huge 6-month-long productions. And I wanted to be part of that, but I was only 6. But
I mean, hey, you cast it at a, kid.
60 years ago. Oh, my God. So are we allowed to use 4-letter words?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait. I'll say it. But no, and then in high school, I got into it as an actor, but I started out mostly as a pianist.
Ooh.
So I was the pianist for cabarets, revues, musical theater. And then I thought, I can do better. And I thought, I really want to start directing because I know how the show should look. I know how it should be. Now, every director says that. And it's a running gag. Every director goes to every other show and sits there and says, yeah, it was good. It's not how I would have done it.
Yeah, they all want to put their own little,
everybody knows exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
And which is good because it means that it is good that that happens because it means that you could take the same play, and if the same audience sees your version, they will technically see a different show, which is what you want.
Yeah.
If it's a comedy, the laughs will happen in different places. Yeah. If it's a drama, the suspense and intensity will strike people at different times.
And that's the purpose, right? That's the point.
That theater is interpretive.
Yeah.
There is one author who passed away, Edward Albee. He was famous for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Okay.
Delicate Balance. His stuff is still revived, but he wrote in how he wants the scenes directed. And I thought, well, that's not a cookbook,
He wrote in, you're meaning like he wasn't present?
He has notes in the script on how the scenes are to be performed and how they're to be done. It's almost as if from the grave, he's telling you exactly how to do his script.
Interesting.
And the thing is, these scripts are from the 60s, the 70s.
Yeah.
Times change.
Yeah, yeah.
Things sound ridiculous now. That's in the script. So the actors, the director and the actors, they have to say things differently. They have to emphasize things differently. They have to look at outrageous statements with, a different eye.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come off sounding so insane.
That's really interesting to think about because now you're saying that even a timeless play still needs to evolve and still needs to...
It has to evolve. And there really is, except for things like Shakespeare.
That's what I was going to say.
Which is very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Shakespeare really should only be done by repertory companies. That is, companies that specialize in these 8 Shakespeare shows. And they're constantly grooming and training the new actors and the new people. They get small roles and then they graduate to larger roles so that no matter what, they're always ready with a cast to do Shakespeare. If you're going to say, I just want to do The Tempest, and you're going to have a 3-week rehearsal period and then open, that you're fooling yourself.
Yeah.
That's just not realistic.
Yeah. And it's actually really funny when, growing up, that's where we have a little bit of a similarity is, I grew up in musical theater. I'm a percussionist.
Right.
So I've been drumming my whole life. I've done Legally Blonde, Catch Me If You Can, Little Shop of Horrors. What's another one? We did Phantom of the Opera.
Right.
That was unbelievable. But I just know how much it goes into every single play. I mean, Tech Week was insane. Yep. Yeah. And this is why I was so intrigued and also wanted you on the show was I need to hear how it is and what it's like. What's the difference between a high school play and a professional setting?
A high school play or a community theater play, their goal is to involve as many people, as many students as they can. Obviously, everybody's the same age range. Mm-hmm. So Grandpa's going to be played by a 16-year-old. An 8-year-old's going to be played by a 16-year-old. But the teachers know, and rightfully so, they need to involve as many kids and make them feel as as big a part of the production as they can. In professional theater, it should be pure meritocracy.
Okay.
The best actors get the part. If you're casting for a season and it's 4 shows and one guy nails all 4 shows, you cast him or her in all 4 shows. You don't sit there and say, well, you're in 2, I want to give somebody else a chance. You're a producer looking for the best possible end product you can get. Now, in high school, you will get a good end product because everybody's cute, everybody's involved, the parents are thrilled that everybody's on stage, they invite aunts, uncles, grandparents, right? Yep. So that's the measure of success is community involvement. In professional theater, the measure of success is obviously ticket sales and critical approval. And critical approval comes with not cheating, not skimping on actors and sets. It's got to look like you really put time and effort into it.
And I'm assuming that's the role of your role is you're the one that's deciding
Yes.
the best.
Yes.
You're the one that is narrowing down, and you're probably the one that also has to cut people.
You have to cut. Well, I tend to work with people I already know, so that rarely happens.
Okay.
And again, you're fooling yourself if you don't do that. You need to. If you look through the cast lists of a lot of my shows, there's quite a few repeat offenders, right? And I do that because I know what I'm going to get. Now, fortunately, there's always new roles and there's always new people who audition and blow me away, and you take a chance. But you can, more important than how good they are at the audition is, can you infer from their audition their level of professionalism? Can you infer their confidence? That just takes practice. That just takes years of doing that. And what if they come off confident and they come off professional, you'll have no problem.
And I love that, because I think you being able to be in this position, you're able to witness and you're able to kind of feel. You're going to be able to get the feel of all these actors and you yourself. Do you ever jump into some roles of being like, no, this is all right. Well, I want you to embody. Hey, all right, we're gonna go down this is how I want you to, like. Do you ever kind of portray and help in that coaching sense of acting, I guess?
Well, I do, except when you cast professional actors, it requires a certain amount of breathing room for them.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
yeah.
Also, you cast, like I said before, I cast people so I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm going to get when I cast, person X, person Y, because they're right for it. And I want their quality. Listen, every actor has a certain quality to their personality, how they come off on stage. There are some women who, it doesn't matter if they're 25, they come off as a mother. You always want to cast them in that nurturing role. There are some women who are 65 who come off as childlike and full of wonder, and you want to cast them as gullible or naive. You can't go against those qualities. So fortunately, if you've been doing it for years, you have a Rolodex of qualities, and you cast using that. I sometimes pick shows just so I can use certain actors.
See, and what it's sounding is like you have a very strategic way of doing your job. And now this is where I kind of want to bring it back to program. Like, from 6 years old, you're watching your mom, you're seeing all this production, the cast, you're learning all this, you're absorbing, yeah. Right? So where does programming come in? Like, wouldn't have you wanted to, have you been doing this from the start and programming?
Yeah.
Okay.
My senior year in high school in 1978. Oh my God.
It's a good year.
Yeah. It's, they installed a computer in my high school and nobody cared. A handful of us started playing with it, and it was no screens. Everything was printed on paper, and I was fascinated. But I thought, I'm going to go to college to be a doctor. Well, that didn't work out, but I really liked the programming. And I think the reason I like the programming is there is a final answer. You can go home when you're done. Whereas if you're an English major and you're writing an essay about, Shakespeare or something like that, you have no idea whether, is this going to work? Is the professor going to like this? Is this going to make sense? Whereas computer programmer, it works.
Input, output.
Input, output, lock up the computer, go home. You're done. And so I was also, it's man versus machine, woman versus machine. So it's not person versus person. So when it's man or woman versus machine, you are in total control. And when you direct your show, you need a lot of control. Certainly you want to give the actors freedom and the designers freedom, but as the director, it's your baby. You got to get that show's ass up there and ready on opening night for something you don't want to get killed by the audience or the critics.
Yeah. So
the programming was a perfect job for me because I like puzzles. I like, mathematics. I am in no way, shape, or form a math genius. but you don't need to be that.
No, but you see things at that the mathematical way, the program. I mean, it's there's some people that do get that.
Right.
Like I will say that I'm not very good at English or history, but I'm damn good at science and math, and sometimes you get blessed with those halves.
That's that and my advice for anybody in high school or whatever is find that out as soon as you can, because the longer you delay, you push it into your 30s and still don't know what you want to do, it just gets harder and harder.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a young people's game right now. Listen, I'm 65, I'm still working. That means that there's somebody coming out of college who's waiting for me to retire. And I don't want to. But fortunately, because I discovered I love doing it early, I could make a career out of it.
Yeah. And fortunately you had influential people around you to help push you and to help be like, oh yeah, you were fortunate to have these. I mean, your mother had a theater.
My mother had a theater. She was originally a school teacher.
Right.
She retired to raise my brother and I. And my father was a dentist.
Okay.
And there is absolutely no rhyme or reason for how I arrived. My father played piano, my mother played piano. That's the common link.
Okay.
But in terms of computer programming, there is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but when that's the whole point of, you being your own self. You grew up, you were able to make that decision, but also like you were fortunate to still have your passion.
Yes.
Right? Would you say that your theater production directing is your passion?
That is the passion. I do love the programming, but also I got to give credit to my parents their attitude was always, we just want you to be happy.
Yeah.
So do what you want to be happy. And, they, unfortunately they're not here anymore, but I know that they left this earth knowing I was happy. So, what more could you ask?
Yeah. And what more could they ask? Right? I mean, that's literally the goal of being a parent. And I love this. I want to switch gears a little bit, and I do want to kind of speak on, we're going to get to a fun section, but I want to talk about Boca Stage.
Yes.
When did Boca Stage become your baby? When did that actually come to fruition?
So my first show down here was directed by this wonderful director who's still a best friend, Jeannie Croft. And it was a play called Isn't It Romantic at the JCC, the Levis JCC. And I really enjoyed working with her, and I met a lot of lifelong friends. Matter of fact, the young lady who's my treasurer, I met in that.
Oh, that's cool.
And, and she was also a wonderful actress, but her name is Jackie Laggy. And I was doing bits and pieces, miscellaneous theater, acting here, playing the piano there. And then finally I thought, let me form an actual formal group. So for the first 10, 15 years I was here, I wasn't in charge of anything. Then in 2014, I thought there's plays that I want to direct, but I don't want a full season. I don't want to be bogged down with having to come up with a slate of shows for a year, because the number one thing when you direct a show is you gotta love the show. And if you love one and the other three are okay, or you love two and the other two okay, it gets to be a grind. So Boca Stage was founded with the idea of, if there's something I really want to do and it hasn't been done, or it's just off the hopper on Broadway, I'll do it. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because...
Oh, man.
Well...
I was like, wow, this is awesome.
It didn't work out in a good way, in the sense that people liked those shows, and we got invited to set up shop at Arts Garage, but they wanted a full season. We set up shop at the Soul Theater, but they wanted a full season.
Well, I mean, that must be a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, except it's very, very difficult to find plays you're passionate about. I want to make sure that any budding playwrights out there or experienced playwrights out there, I'm not saying that I don't think the plays that they've written are good or bad. I'm saying I want to.
Exactly.
Is it something I want to do?
Does it align with you? Because you're right. I mean, it's in anything. A piece of music. I mean, that for me, that's where I kind of go to. some songs that I listen to and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to play this. I am so much more passionate putting it, listening all day long. I have another song. Oh, I don't really like that. It's just, you don't have that drive to do it. You still do it.
Well, for example, there's no arguing Taylor Swift's talent, but it's not my kind of music. Now, does that mean I wouldn't go to a concert? If you gave me tickets, I guess I'd go, but it's
of course
not my choice.
Of course.
But there is no denying the young lady's talent. On the other hand, I'm a Pink Floyd, Genesis, Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's my thing, and jazz, which aligns more with the computer programming. So I was never a pop kind of guy. Also, I kind of lost touch in the big joke is the last group that I really liked was the Police. See, for example, I appreciate Nirvana.
Yeah.
But even that's old.
Okay.
But it wasn't, I never downloaded anything.
Yeah.
If I heard a song, I bopped my head, but I didn't jump after it.
I have a couple of bands that I'm going to introduce you to. I think you'll be a huge fan.
Thank you.
Just because music is, that's where that's my life, where I connect with people. Being even in that pit orchestra, I had so much fun playing the drum set, or even even the accessories, because you knew what you were doing. Everyone else doesn't know, that slapstick was actually a slap.
Yeah.
When someone gets hit in the face, I have to make sure I'm hitting that clap, so that there's that. But I had a kind of a fun question. Does your coworkers with programming know that you run a theater?
Yes.
They do? Oh, that's awesome.
They do. It's I get sort of a, you got to tell me about that sometime. But it never happens.
Bro,
But it never happens. But no, they are generally surprised, and it is a surprise when people find out.
Yeah.
Because here I am talking all day bits and bytes and Java and Python and databases, and then all of a sudden to find out, oh, he's producing a show. What does one have to do with the other? And I am very happy to say nothing.
See, that's right. My next question was, what is where do they kind of, but honestly, that probably is better. That you're two different, they don't even.
I don't want them to intersect.
Yeah,
I want to switch left brain to right brain over left brain to right brain. I want to switch over 30 seconds.
I love that. Yeah. I actually really like that. So you can, because that is something that I find hard to, being here, doing all these shows, producing all these shows, and then, I'm in 5 bands. So,
right. So
going.
That's your passion. How do you switch from one to the other?
It's literally, I physically can't bring the stuff that is going on in here to my band, or else I will be playing different.
Right.
I've actually had people be, hey Ben, I had a really bad, we can tell. Right. We can tell you had something going on in band or in work today because you're not playing the way you normally. And
the first second I met you, I said, this is a musician. This is the guy. As a matter of fact, the fact that you're a drummer makes perfect sense.
Makes sense.
I could see you on the platform up behind the guitarists, grooving to the beat. I could see the sweat flying off your head, and I could see it.
I get very passionate when I play the drums, just because my father, he's also a drummer.
Oh.
And so it's lived in my family throughout my whole life. And my mom, she's. Mom, I love you. Props up to you because you're doing a great job. My dad still plays every single day.
Oh, great.
He loves it. It's his cognitive, I guess, workshop for the day or whatever. Because he's a microbiologist. So
same thing.
Same thing.
It's left brain, right brain.
Exactly.
So I'm not unique. And
no, you definitely are.
I'm not that out of the ordinary for the deaf.
All right. Well, so now let's dive into a little bit of your directing and producing, because I think that's another common ground that we have. What's harder, directing the actors or managing the different personalities that everybody's coming at you with? And
no, the personalities are rarely, if ever, a problem.
Okay.
The stereotypes you see in movies and TV shows, at least in my experience, are very, very rare.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe every 25 shows I have one problem.
Okay.
But no.
That's good.
No. The actors are 98% of the time the best part of it.
Oh, I love that.
So, but here's
So what's
but the thing is, it's their asses up there in the performance. So at the end of the day, it's them.
Yeah.
I can give them all the brilliant direction or not brilliant direction they want. I can answer every question, but at the end of the day, they got to do it. And, so they are like a good one is gold. If you're going to direct, you better keep that in mind. You better understand that you are beholden to top talent for acting. That is just not negotiable. No, the hard part is coordinating all the other things. There's a famous cartoon that shows an iceberg where the tip is over the water and 90% of it is underwater.
Yeah.
The tip is all anybody sees.
Yep.
The 90% that's underwater, that's what we're dealing with. Costumes, lights, sets, props, publicity, all of that is the producer's job to either hire people or do it themselves. And, it's got to get done. And you can't skimp on any of it.
Wow, so you're in charge of the costumes too?
Well, I hire the costumer.
Well, yeah,
But again, I have to tell him or her, what am I looking for?
Yeah.
So, for example, for this show, I wanted a very specific color pattern for the costumes. But I let him, Tim, take it from, he takes it from there. But again, it comes back to what I had originally said. You don't want to work for people. You don't want everybody on your staff to be the first time you're working with them.
Definitely, because you want your staff to also know a little bit of you.
Yes.
They want to know, I don't think Keith would like it done this way. Let's do this way. And then Keith, we were going to do that. I'm glad you didn't do that. Right. I'm glad you didn't, because that takes a second of step. I mean, that's what I want with my employees here. I want them to understand that I don't need to teach everything, right? I don't need to show you how to be polite to someone. I don't need to show you how to offer. But if you see that I'm doing this, you should follow suit. Know that this is how I want things done.
Right.
And I'm assuming that's the same exact way.
It has to be done that way. The lead time on a show is about 6 months.
Okay, 6 months.
So you pick it, and then you immediately lock down. First thing you need is where you're going to do it. Second thing is,
and that for you is
that's correct.
That's done. Well, that's already completed, right?
Completed
because you have Boca Stage.
And if if you have a season, okay, well that's set for the season where you're going to do all 4
Got
shows.
It. So 2.
So you need where you're going to do it, and then second of all, is the author or their rep going to give you the rights to that play?
Oh, that's a whole nother thing I didn't even think about.
Science.
Yeah.
And a lot of times now, most of the stuff that you want to do, established plays, whatever, you apply for the rights online, you can do it. But I pick stuff that's not ready yet.
Oh.
And I have the agents or their authors tell me, well, the rights aren't available. Or, well, they're not available, but we would be willing to let you do it, because I jump the gun. And there are some plays. There is a terrific play that'll be done at Island City Theater called Eureka Day. And it was written before the COVID pandemic, but you would swear it was written after. It is so topical.
Really?
Everybody wanted that play. I got the rights, but I'm not going to do it. But 2 other theaters down here, Island City and Gables, they got the rights. So everybody's going to do it. Now, personally, I might sound like a bit spoiled, but if other theaters down here are going to do it, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to be first, then forget it. But the lead time, you got to get the rights, and then if you don't get the rights, end of discussion, can't do it.
So you can't even, can you see? That's a whole another avenue, because if you don't get the rights, but do you cast everybody? Do you make everything?
I wouldn't do that until I got the rights.
Until you got the rights. Right. Okay, gotcha. I was going to say, that's my thought.
In the flow chart, you got the rights? Yes, no, end. Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Call the actors that you want. Make sure they're available. You can't have auditions for roles that you don't know.
Okay.
You don't have anybody in mind. But a lot of the shows we did, the casts are so small, I knew who I wanted. And, it's very often I know who I want, even though I haven't worked with them before, but I saw them in many shows, and I know they'll be good.
And see, then so that kind of brings me to another question: is, do you go out and almost not poach, but is it as a producer and director, do you go and watch different shows?
Oh, it's absolutely poaching.
Oh,
It's absolutely poaching. Of course it's poaching.
okay.
Somebody else has gone through the trouble of discovering this person. And I'm going to jump in and use them. And I'm going to get credit for casting them. Even though this other theater may have groomed them or found them or talked them to come down. It is absolutely poaching.
Yeah, and that's totally...
Nobody else, I'm not accusing anybody else. I'm just saying I know I do it.
Yeah, and that's a lot. I mean, is that frowned upon in the theater area? And I would say no. I mean,
the actors are grateful for the work.
Yeah.
As long as you're not, and as long as that actor is not in the next show.
Yeah.
If they're available. Now, absolutely. If an actor says, "Well, I'm available," I'm not available in May because I'm doing this show. Okay, then that's it. You can't dangle more money.
Got it. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Then that's dirty pool.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So let's go to our kind of fun. I want to ask you a couple random questions, and then I kind of want to talk about some of the plays that you've produced, directed, and we'll go down there. All right. So yeah, we got enough time.
Okay.
So what is the biggest misunderstanding about community theater?
About community theater?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest misunderstanding is that it's a good question. The biggest misunderstanding about community theater is that it's not always about doing the best possible show. It's about doing the best possible show with what you have.
Okay.
The guy who's been building the sets for 4 years now decides he wants to play the king in The King and I, or he's not going to build the sets anymore. You want to reward him. You want to help him out. So you say, well, I don't think you're right for the king, but will you be willing to take the second role? The young lady who did the woman who did all the costumes for my mother's shows, she wanted to be the lead in The Lion in Winter. She was not. That is a two-person show where Eleanor of Aquitaine and the other guy are debating each other for 2.5 hours. Man, even Peter O'Toole and Katharine Hepburn struggle. I mean, it's not for the squeamish. So community theater needs to pick, quote, easy shows where the script is so strong that even if you don't have the best actors, the humor or the suspense will still come through.
Gotcha. Well, that actually brings me to my next question, is because you're saying that the script has to be dense and bring that light, but I know everyone's always, have you had actors forget lines in the middle of, and is it more of an improv and they jump into, like, because I'm assuming you would always hire professionals, so they would, if something happens, they're always knowing what to do, but
they know how to cover.
That
they know how to cover. It's, again, that's very rare.
Yeah.
Has it happened to a show I've done? Yes, but extremely rare.
And it's because they take the time. I mean, because you're right. It's they're on the line. It's them as well. They get up there and they don't know their lines. It's them that's kind of at fault, right?
Yeah. And I'm not speaking for other actors, but, at age 65, if I did ever jump back into acting, I'd really have to think about it because I haven't memorized a full role for 15 years. I don't know if I could do that now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could carry a show.
Yeah.
A small part, yeah. And I would probably, if there was a play I really wanted to do, I would look at it and go, well, what part could I manage? I'm going to only audition for that.
So if you were offered a play that you could do, what play would you want to do?
There's so many new ones.
Yeah.
And I'm just not keeping up.
Okay.
But
then bring back something that
bring back an old one.
Yeah.
But again, the problem with bringing back old ones, and this goes back to something you mentioned earlier. The problem with older ones is they're so dated.
Yeah.
People don't talk like that.
Yeah.
And you run into a problem because people will say, "Oh, well, that's how it was in the 50s." But an audience cannot transform themselves.
That's true.
They can't say, "Oh, I better think like I thought in the 50s," even though my parents weren't even born yet.
Yeah.
Right. So these old plays are very difficult to pull off, in this day and age.
So, do you have a role that you would pick?
Ben, you're putting me on the spot.
I am. I'm putting him on the spot. I'm just.
It's I really can't think of anything
Okay.
right now.
All right.
I don't have a bucket list.
Okay. All right. That was I was gonna say,
There's no bucket list of roles I'd like to act in.
is there a bucket list of roles you want of plays you would like to direct or produce?
Actually, the reason that I hit this breaking point is I've done every play I've wanted to do.
Oh.
I'm waiting for new ones to blow me away.
That's awesome. See,
Yeah.
that's an accomplishment. That is an accomplishment.
It is. I'm sure if I went through a whole list, I could probably say, "Oh, I forgot about that one," but nothing is standing out.
Well, I love that. So from 2014
Yep.
to now, you've done
Yeah.
about 50. How many shows would you say?
Probably about 50 plays.
About 50
I produced
plays.
50. I probably directed half of them,
Okay.
2/3 of them. There are plays that I want done, but I'm not the right director.
Okay.
So my go-to, Jeannie Croft, who was the first director, she is the person that I have do it.
I love that.
And there are some that I wish I'd kept,
Yeah.
but she did a great job, so I can't say anything. But just like casting actors, you have to cast the right director.
So that was those. Do you prefer producing or directing?
No, nobody prefers producing.
Yeah.
Producing is thankless.
I know. I was gonna say.
The only time producing is thankful is if you make a profit.
Yeah.
Which, or if you win an award. If you win best play, you get to accept it.
The producer.
Yeah, but you spend your whole acceptance speech thanking everybody else.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Okay.
And they should be thanked.
Yeah, of course.
The producer, you hire the top people, get out of their way, you still get credit.
Yeah. I like the sound of that. That sounds really good to me. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of the plays that you recently finished directing and producing. I think you said...
Well, we had a nice 2-year run at Delray Beach Playhouse.
Yes.
But that pushed us back to more classic plays. Boeing, Wait Until Dark. Those were all fun. We did 1 or 2 new ones. We did one that was a one-woman show, and the only character was Vivian Vance from I Love Lucy.
Wow.
And it was her life story. It was not her life story. It took place on the last 1960, on the last day of the last the last episode of I Love Lucy.
Okay.
So but it was written in modern, modern.
Yeah.
So it wasn't dated in the sense nobody talks like that. But these were all interesting shows. So but we wrapped it up at Delray Beach Playhouse because 4 shows a year was just too much for me, and I couldn't come up with 4 shows.
Yeah, I mean you're saying it takes 6 months for one show. Usually
4 shows is like a year ahead.
Yeah.
And even then you're scrambled.
Yeah.
And I would direct 2, and Jeannie would direct 2. But no, this one, the one coming up next month, Damaged Furniture, I wanted to do it. I only wanted to do 1. I'm doing it at the Willow Theatre, which is, a percentage deal. They give you this theater rent free. They give you a box office. They give you, they give you a lot of stuff for which they take a percentage.
Love it.
So
now, are you okay with that? Yeah,
absolutely.
Because it's a better venue. It's a beautiful place. Yeah,
it's not necessarily better. It's more theatery.
Gotcha.
It's more of an actual theater as opposed to where we were working, where we kind of liked that old style off Broadway feel. This is a real 150 seat venue with
auditorium, like very beautiful.
With in a beautiful building. It was built in 2002 or something, and so it's got a lot of advantages.
I love it, and that's where Damaged Furniture. That's where Damaged Furniture.
So this is from March 6th to March 15th.
So everyone, Damaged Furniture from March 6th
to March 15th.
6th to the 15th.
Sugar Sand Park, the Willow Theatre.
I've played there before, actually. Oh, that's awesome.
But, why talk about it? Shouldn't you? Why can't you just come and take a look at what goes into it?
I would love to do that.
Come to a rehearsal with your camera guys, and you can see, instead of all these questions, you can see how it's actually done.
So wait, Keith, are you telling me right now?
I'm telling you right now.
The been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Is going to be.
You're going to come to a rehearsal. You're going to film how we actually do things.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So I told you there was a treat. This is the treat. You guys stick around. You're going to love this episode. And we're going to go and check out Damaged Furniture with Keith. All right? All right, so give me that wide shot. All right, guys, stay tuned, and we'll be right back. What's up, you guys? I told you we were going to make it over to the Boca Stage with Keith. You remember that interview? That interview was great. Actually, I need to find Keith so he can get us in here and open up the studio. Let me go knock on the... What? Keith, what are you doing there, man?
Rehearsal ended at 10 o'clock last night. Here I am.
Did you just... Are you been sleeping out here? Let me help you out of the bush, man. Come on out of there. Am I in the right place? I guess I'm in the right place.
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Remember?
That's Daniel.
Yep. Remember we did the Been There, Done That interview? You told me to come to Boca Stage, check it out?
That was tonight.
Yeah, that was tonight.
Did I change the time?
Yeah, we were supposed to be at 6, but I mean, I think it's 7 now.
Why don't you come in?
All right, let's go. I am so excited, Keith.
Yeah, this is the place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So wait, is this like what do they call it?
Well, actually,
room?
All this stuff here, the microwave, the fridge, this stuff's all hot.
That's funny.
Fell off a truck.
Yeah, you got it. I got it.
Okay, if you want to see that where I sleep, so this is where M&M Scenic Theater Company builds our sets.
Wow.
I just haven't paid them yet.
Oh.
But come on.
Pretty cool. Do you guys see? Look, we got Burglary Palace.
Look at it. This is how they, all these materials create 1 million sets all over South Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the hub.
This is the hub. A lot of theater companies hire M&M to build their sets.
That is incredible. I had no idea.
Marcy Gorman is the owner of M&M Theater Company. She sometimes produces shows. She's producing that show Disenchanted that's running all over the company. I mean, I saw it at the Crab. You know what? I don't remember. Now we'll get into my world.
Ooh, all right.
Where I have some modicum of control, although not really. See the actors here. These are our lovely stage managers.
What's up, you guys? How's it going?
Juliana, this is Ben.
Nice to meet you guys.
And that's Daniel, who can't believe he's witnessing this. And here's our set.
Now this
set is supposed to mock what it's going to look like on stage at the Willow Theatre. It's supposed to. Now, these guys do a great job, except sometimes they don't get the right instructions from me. So, we work with it.
Yeah.
Over there is Shane Tanner. He's a regular down here.
How's it going, Shane?
He's, this is Valerie. This is Liz.
The whole cast we get to meet.
As you can see, they're getting into it.
I love it. I love it.
The chair is...
That's the damaged furniture?
That's the damaged furniture. Yeah. And over here, we have brother and sister. This is Bruno. And I believe a lot of your viewers know the lovely Sharon here.
Sharon might look familiar. You guys might know her from We Talk Funny. Guys, this is awesome. I've never been to a live play, especially a rehearsal. This is incredible. Professional. It's very, very cool. These guys they know what they're doing. There comes Sharon. That was amazing. So Keith had to get back to directing, but it was so incredible to be in a position and see what goes behind the scenes. Keith does an incredible job directing. He's got a great cast and crew, and to see the set design, the props, see what goes on behind the scenes was really, truly incredible. But let's get back to the studio because we got to wrap this thing up. Do you guys believe what we just did? Isn't that incredible? Keith, You wrangled those guys. You were there. You were leading the pack. I loved seeing that.
But this is an example of if you use people you know and you use what I call repeat offenders, everybody's on the same wavelength.
And that's what I was going to say.
It's a great group of people.
It seemed like everybody was there because they wanted to be there and they believed in it.
They believe in it. And, you know Sharon.
I love Sharon.
And the others, they're all great. Everybody has such a great attitude. The thing is, when you cast people without making them audition, they're so grateful.
Yeah, definitely.
And these guys are into it. And, it's kind of a sick play.
Yeah.
It'll make everybody feel better about their own family.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And
the damaged furniture really, you understand. I didn't understand at first going into. I was like, "What is?" And you get it.
It's Brooklyn. It's old days, but it takes place now.
And I gotta just give a shout out and flowers to Sharon because she is amazing and she did incredible. And I mean,
she was the first one I thought of when I read the script. As I'm reading it, I start chuckling at who can do it. She was the first person I cast mentally.
It's awesome, and she
plays Gina.
She did an amazing. I mean, I see her once a week, and me and her have gotten a lot closer, and she is such a pure heart, and she'll say it how it is, and she loves Keith. She loves you, man.
I love how whatever's on her mind is on her lips.
Yeah.
It's like you don't meet many people like that. When you do, it's such a breath of fresh air.
Agreed. And
the rest of the cast is like that. They're all, you saw they don't hold back.
They do not hold back. And I think that's also something that I got to give you props. You built a really good culture.
Thank you.
A good culture of people, people that really want to show up and do the best, but also, I mean, they're such a good group of crew. Such a great group of crew. Now, have you gone through Tech Week yet?
No, that's not till first week of March.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you guys need to tune in to Damaged Furniture. It's going to be where actually, you know what, Keith, tell the audience right in that camera 5 right there. Let everybody know where they can go. How can they buy their tickets? This one right here, the furthest one to the left.
Furthest one to the left.
Yep.
Camera 5. You want to go to Sugar Sand Park, the Willow Theatre, and buy tickets for Damaged Furniture, which runs March 6th to March 15th. It's in Boca Raton. The theater is located on the intersection of Palmetto and Military Trail. So it's a wonderful theater. It's a funny play. You're coming to laugh. This is not Shakespeare, folks. So we hope you enjoy that.
Keith, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come on, Ben there.
No, my pleasure.
This is a lot of fun. I got to meet your dog as well.
That's my dog, Jojo. Yes.
Jojo. And
hopefully hasn't destroyed the bathroom.
Daniel, thank you so much for everything, man. I can't wait till this episode's out. You guys remember, comment, share, follow. Be nice to everybody. Give your mom a hug.
I didn't need any makeup or anything.
You didn't need any makeup. Look at how great you look.
Yeah, but it's kind of pain. All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care.